So I did not see this comment at all. But before we get into that part, and you guys know what I'm talking about, let's just get these scenes out the way. So we start off with Tate and Holly. And basically, Tate is telling Holly that, look, I can't go to Paris again because I have to be there for my family. I have to support my dad. He's struggling a lot with what's happening with Rachel. And, we just want to be together for the holidays. And, she's saying, okay, cool. I'm disappointed, but I understand you got to do what you got to do. And, we can always, come after the holiday break, come for New Year's. And he's saying that that can't happen because he needs to take the break and work on his school as well. Like, he's on academic probation, he has a C, and he needs to bring it up. And, Holly understands it all. She's very supportive. And I get both sides because, I would be disappointed I wouldn't be able to spend holidays, but at the same time, I understand where Tate's coming. Tate gotta, do what he gotta do, handle his business so that he does not get kicked out of school. So they find time to really spend time with each other and make it work throughout the holidays and all of that because they're not gonna see each other in Christmas, right? So Belle pays Brady a visit as well, and she is just checking in on him regarding Rachel, and he said that he's struggling because he wanted her to come home for the holidays, and he misses her really much, and he's still upset with Marlena. So Belle came to set the record straight on that. She said she didn't want to betray Marlena's confidence because Marlena said not to tell him, but she tells Brady that it was Kristen's doing. Kristen was the one that made Marlena silent on telling him about what's happening with Rachel, and they both agreed on it because Marlena didn't know that Kristen was going to confess at the courthouse. And also, she did make Marlena actually just stay quiet on it and not to tell Brady. And Brady's like, why would Kristen do that or put Marlena up to it? And I'm saying, regardless of the fact, like, what were you going to do? Because you're there mourning and complaining about how you don't have a say-so on your child's well-being, what to do regarding her mental health. I don't think you would have done jack because, for one thing, even if you had control of it and Kristen went to jail and protected you guys' daughter, I think that you would not, seek out the right treatment or the right help. You probably would be more focused on the next the next skirt to chase rather than actually making sure that your kids is okay, because for one thing, you don't even know that your son is failing right now, and you don't know what your daughter is up to right now at the psychiatric ward. Like, come on, Brady, like, who are you trying to fool, right? And Belle was even saying to him that Marlena is human, like she makes mistakes like everybody else, and to just give her some grace, and that dad would not want that him doing that towards Marlena, who has been like a mother to him. And he understands it, but he just felt betrayed. And I'm like, boo-hoo your feelings, because I don't think you should have really been upset at Marlena for that reason, because she was trying her best. But anyways, he comes over and he talks to her, and he says that Belle told him what happened, and he's sorry for how he went about it. He just was worried about Rachel, and he now knows that Kristen was behind it, and he wants to make things right. He is allowing her to see Rachel and them to come together to actually visit her for the holidays because she can't come home, and he was trying to get her home, but it didn't work out, right? So Marlena appreciates that, and she said that also she is she will help in any way regarding her treatment and just be there to support her. And they're good to go, right? He said he still is not going to come back to live with her, but he will be around for the holidays. He still wants his own place, and she respects that, right? Now, earlier, Paulina paid Marlena a visit and just to check in on her because she's, now discharged. And, she said that, it's definitely been hard for her, especially being here for the holidays without John. And then, Marlena also understands she's going through a lot because, Abe and Tio and Demers are missing, and Abe is out of his mind, worried, and he can't help his son, and she's going through a lot. Marlena understands that, and so Paulina also says that she understands what her family is going through, and she said even though she wants the best for little Rachel, she cannot use special treatment to help her, not face what she have done. She, even though she wouldn't want no child to be in, any criminal institution, she still has to she still has to deal with this. Like, it's gonna look away towards the public if she does not handle it right. So Marlene understands, and she understands that something has to be done. It's not her fault, or her fault. At the end of the day, something has to be done regarding Rachel. I'm just wondering too, like Paulina talks about special treatment. Didn't she abuse her power a lot to help Chanel and Johnny, and like even her daughter mostly? Like she has never really faced any she never faced her issues head on. She's always had help from her mom, especially this whole thing with her and that professor years back, if you guys remember. She didn't have to face any accountability. Her mom always made every problem go away. Even with this adoption of baby Trey, like they didn't have to go through no intense process. They, bypassed everything, and they were able to adopt this child like nothing. And I don't like that whole thing, right? It applies to your daughter, but not to everybody else. Come on now, hypocritical. Now Belle paid Paulina a visit as well, and she said, she asked about what's going on with Theo and Demers, and Paulina tells her that there's no word, and they just feel like their hands are tied. And they talk about EJ a lot, about how they want to hold him accountable for certain things that have happened, even if he's not tied to the disappearance of his family, maybe to the negligence that's happened in the hospital. And Belle talked about how she threatened him about if he is somehow liable for what happened to her mom and her misdiagnosis and it not being spotted earlier, she is going to sue him and all of that. So even though she has no concrete evidence to time to that, she still wants him, to face the public, and also, public press is going to look at him a certain type of way, and he's all about image, so that may affect him. So Paulina is all for that as well. And Paulina's like, once he appears back from where he is, she wants to make sure throw the book at him, anything at all that is tied to EJ negatively or criminally. She wants to try him for that. And I'm saying, you guys need to leave EJ alone before EJ just tries to do something to get back at you guys, because when EJ is out for blood or revenge, he is definitely not gonna spare nobody. But anyways, they're chatting about EJ, about if he will disappear or if he will actually relocate somewhere, according to Paulina. Now, this is where it really mattered, the mirrors and the crib. Everybody know we're seeing them, EJ, Tony, Theo, Kristen, Peter, and Chad. So Kristen was trying to help them dig a hole to get out of the script, and then she fainted. Her fever is rising up. At this point, EJ and Tony appears, and EJ's trying to help, give her a cold compress. Peter's like, don't come near my sister. Like, you probably are behind this whole thing. I heard what Kristen said about you. And, it's not far-fetched that you would do anything to destroy your family. And look what you did to Chad, sleeping with Abigail. And, have you forgiven him about that? So Chad said no, like, it's etched in his brain. And, Chad is like, I thought this was ancient history. And he's like, no, like, I continuously think about it. I'm like, this is so many years ago. Like, why are they bringing it up? Why is Peter bringing this up? Like, why is Peter bringing up old drama to, turn everybody against each other? And that's what Tony's saying. Like, AJ is not a saint, but at the end of the day, I don't think he would, have us all here. And, EJ saying, why would I want to be here suffering in the script, right? So, anyways, Theo is saying, look, Peter is trying to, target us together, put us together, and it's not working out. We're not trying to get out of here if we're trying to be against each other. And, Peter's saying, you're just like father, EJ's just like father, and, this is his way of dealing with things. And now Kristen is wondering, Peter may be behind this, because when they were kids, when Peter lost a chess game against her, Peter destroyed it and then blamed Kristen for it, blamed the staff, and father believed him, right? So he's like, come on, that's ancient, why would you bring that up? And he's like, this is who you are, you've done many crimes before and try to blame others, who's to tell if you're not behind this? And Theo is also thinking the same thing, he's trying to bring up everybody else's sins and pit them against each other. Maybe you're behind it. So they asked him for his phone at this point. because everybody else's phone has been taken away. And he said, like, no, why you want to search me? Like, you don't have to search me. So Theo go over there to check him, and then he pushes Theo on a glass bottle. He's knocked out, and lo and behold, Peter has a vial and admits that he's behind this. He's pitting them against each other. And, he said if anybody comes close to him, they're going to die within seconds. So, well, this definitely was a great episode ending. I must say so myself, guys. I didn't think Peter was behind this, but let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys tomorrow.